Dear friends, we are still in the lockdown period. Coronavirus is not easily going to go away. We have to learn to cope up with the situation in the coming days. And as a result of this COVID 19, all of us know what is happening all around the world. And we have seen the most developed nations have been devastated by this coronavirus. And most of the European countries and even in our country, there is an increase of COVID spread. We can see whether it's in Maharashtra or in Gujarat or in Madhya Pradesh, in Chennai, or in Tamil Nadu, and many other parts of India. We see there is an increase of affected people, and we hope we will be able to contain this virus spread together. Today, I would like to share with you something about, in the context of this coronavirus, there is another aspect which we need to pay attention to. Since our children are at home with you, parents, and you are also, most of you are not going to the offices and so on. Therefore, what happens is there can be, in the world level, I am talking, and at the same time in our country, in our situation, in our families, in our society, we can have a tremendous amount of anxiety, fear and depression, and also a helplessness among people. And what could be the reasons for this anxiety or depression? There could be various reasons. The first reason can be of the stress at work. Generally before this pandemic, we can have our workplace stress. We can have students can have stress in the school. We can have stress from a relationship, maybe family relationship or relationship outside, etc. And financial stress may be another reason. Could be emotional trauma of, suppose somebody who is close to us have been met with an accident or passed away, etc. That affect all of us, seriously affect. And the fear of punishment, another reason. Suppose some mistake has happened and then we don't know what is going to happen. The fear of punishment can give us tremendous anxiety. And also anxiety can be the result of drug addiction, alcoholism, and so on. And maybe some symptoms of illness also make us so down, so depressed, so anxious, and so fearful. But today, the situation can be a combination of everything, but there can be also, due to this pandemic, people are in stress. And what are the reasons for this pandemic stress, which apparently we may not be able to see, but it can be a terrible thing that's happening on each one of us. And therefore, I would like to share with you a few facts about this anxiety and fear. First of all, in the social level, in the society level, the nation level, in the entire humanity, there is a stress, there is an anxiety, there is worry, there is fear. And as a result, there is a lot of depression happening to people. People are so much concerned about their health even. It's affected all over. And therefore, what happened? The reasons can be of various levels. Number one is of social distancing. We are all living in the families these days, cut off from our official engagement and works, etc. It affects all of us. And social distancing can be the reason for many people to get into depression or anxiety. Another good reason is a lot of misinformation is happening. Some of us or many of us may be watching regularly TV and newspapers and magazines that are available, and social media news. Social media, you cannot filter which one is good and which one is not so good, which one is authentic, not so authentic, etc. Because there are a lot of fake news coming. Fear is created on a daily basis through social media. And in our TV news also, if you listen to TV news for a long time, I am sure that we will get worried because the death toll in different countries and the spread of this, and also what we are seeing is the migrant workers are suffering, their death, and continuously the negative things that are happening in the society has been depicted and telecasted, and what happens is it automatically get into our system and we feel so much depressed, distressed, and we are disappointed. This is a fact. So this is reasons which we must understand. And another thing can be, because how long we have no, I say pandemic, especially this corona pandemic is uncertain. It has contributed to two things. One is it is so upsetting, and second one is so distressing, so uncertain, and therefore it can affect all of us. And third reason is we can be, this our routine is disturbed, completely disturbed, because we used to go to the office, we used to go to for outdoor activities, we visit people, our friends, we had gatherings and we had games, etc. Nothing of that sort now. No activities outside, and it is really affecting all of us. And there is a fear of sickness also, because we don't know, all these apps are coming, how near to you, and so on. And we see in the TV, we see in the programs, etc., that many of our neighborhood is affected, or the state is affected, and for one or two patients the entire district is closed, and so on. A kind of panic reactions, government sometimes pressing the panic button, and for the sake of 2-3 patients or something, and the entire district is put in such a hazardous situation. And therefore people think that, my God, this is going to be very, very sad. And then so much of fear is gone into the minds of the people, and we see even somebody is unfortunately dead, they are not even allowed to bury in the cemeteries or the place of burial. We have seen it in Chennai, we have seen it in Ranchi, and then government had to make certain ordinances, certain laws in allowing the people to bury, etc., etc. That is because lot of misinformation and a lot of fear is happening. Another reason for the anxiety could be of the financial loss, job loss. People in general are suffering. I'm sure that the economic impact of this pandemic is immeasurable. It will have a long-lasting impact on the people. So, my dear friends, we are in a state of uncertainty and difficulties. And our children, for example, especially our children are at home these days, this young age, according to Erik Erikson, the young age is so important. And they have to be with their peer groups, they have to play, they have to have studies, they have to question, they have to have inquiries, etc. Nothing is happening these days. They're at home. Of course, online classes are there, but then online classes is not a substitute for classroom teaching. Therefore, the children find it difficult these days staying at home for a long time without having any socialization with their friends. Therefore, what happens? Children also get into anxiety. And so how do you recognize anxiety in children? Number one is, small children will have a lot of irritation, lot of crying. Everything is in a kind of as if they are physically sick, or fever or headache. They will go on jid karega na. They are going on crying. There will be all kinds of uneasiness in the children. That's the first thing, if it is small children. And the second thing is the loss of interest in doing anything. They will not study online classes, etc. The teachers are giving. The homework has to be done. They won't do that on time. And most of the time they will have excuses, etc. And kind of maybe excessive eating or completely abandoning eating. All these things could be. That means a kind of disorder in food habits can be a reason for anxiety. And also the younger boys, for example, what we call adolescence period, teenage boys and so on, boys and girls, can be so irritating this time. They may be rebelling, they may be answering you. So we cannot ignore this aspect, that there is anxiety level is growing among the children. And we see these days, the boys locker room recently came in Delhi, that problems, and we have also seen so much of depression by children, and there is also a kind of violence that is happening, abuses in the family is happening. I think the child welfare committees, etc., are getting more and more cases about child abuse and so on. So the impact of this coronavirus at various levels, and we need to understand this. And dear parents, you are the persons who can do something, especially for your children and your family in this coronavirus time, in the lockdown period. Give more positive atmosphere at home, give them more opportunities to divert their or channelize their energies into positive things, creative, innovative ways, etc. Unless we do these things, I think this anxiety level will be go very high. I think the family is the best place. Family must have a loving, caring, compassionate, creative and critical atmosphere, and that only you can bring it, my dear parents and my dear teachers. And let us all together take this anxiety level to a lower level. Perhaps we can remedy this and make our children, make our future better. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
You